Once upon a time, in a small village nestled beside green hills, lived an old farmer named Hero. His face was like the earth he worked, lined and weathered by sun and rain. But his eyes held a deep sadness, like a quiet pool reflecting a cloudy sky. He lived alone in a small house. His days were long and silent. He woke before the sun, worked his small field, and went to bed when the stars appeared. He grew rice, just enough for himself. His hands knew the soil well. They knew the feel of the tiny seeds, the young shoots, and the heavy grain. But his heart felt heavy too. Years ago, he had lost his wife, his only companion. The silence in his home felt too loud sometimes. He rarely spoke to anyone in the village. He would nod his head slowly if someone greeted him. His smile was a rare flower, almost forgotten. The villagers were kind, but they knew his sorrow. They left him to his quiet life. They saw him as a man lost in his own world. Every morning, Hero walked to his field. The path was familiar, worn smooth by his feet over many years. The air was cool and fresh. He would look at the young plants. He would pull out weeds gently. He would watch the sky. But inside, his thoughts were like a tangled vine. He thought about the past. He thought about his loneliness. He felt like a single grain of rice, separate from the rest. He carried the weight of his sadness like a heavy stone in his pocket. He remembered laughter in his home. He remembered shared meals. He remembered a hand holding his. These memories were beautiful, but they also brought pain. They made the present silence feel even deeper. He worked hard, but his work felt empty. It was just a way to pass the time. It didn't fill the space in his heart. He often sat by the edge of his field as the sun began to set. The sky would turn orange and pink. The wind would whisper through the rice stalks. He heard the wind, but he didn't listen. His mind was too full of his own quiet sorrow. One evening, as he sat by his field, something was different. The wind blew a little stronger. It rustled the leaves on a nearby tree. He closed his eyes for a moment. He took a slow breath. He felt the cool air on his skin. And then he heard it. Not just the sound of the wind, but the sound in the wind. It sounded like a soft sigh. It sounded like a gentle song. It sounded like a voice, not speaking words, but feeling. He listened more closely. He forgot his thoughts for a moment. He just listened to the wind. It seemed to carry the sounds of the village, the distant bark of a dog, the faint sound of a child's laugh, the quiet murmur of life. It also seemed to carry the sound of the field itself, the rustle of the leaves, the movement of the stalks, the life growing from the earth. He realized the wind was not just air moving. It was connected to everything. It touched the trees, the houses, the people, the earth, and him. It didn't judge. It didn't ask questions. It just was. And it was always moving, always connecting. He started doing something new. Every evening he would sit by his field and just listen to the wind. He wasn't trying to hear anything specific. He was just being present with the sound. Slowly, something began to shift inside him. The heavy stone in his pocket didn't feel quite so heavy. He began to notice other things too. The way the light changed on the leaves, the different calls of the birds, the smell of the rain before it fell. He realized that the world around him was full of quiet life. It was always there, even when he was lost in his own thoughts. The wind became his teacher. It taught him about connection. It taught him that nothing is truly separate. His sadness didn't disappear completely, but it changed. It became like a cloud passing in the vast sky of his awareness. He saw that his life, like the wind, was part of something bigger. His sorrow was part of the human experience. His quiet moments were part of the world's quiet moments. He started to nod more genuinely at the villagers. He even offered a small smile sometimes. He felt a gentle warmth towards them. He still worked his field, but now he felt more connected to the earth. He felt more connected to the cycle of life. He understood that even in silence there is presence. Even in being alone, you are part of everything. The wind whispered a simple truth. You are not separate. You are connected to the earth, to the sky, to others, to yourself. His heart, once a closed room, felt a window open. The quiet sadness was still there, but now there was also peace, a deep, quiet peace, like the wind settling at the end of the day. He learned that listening, truly listening, can open the heart. It can show you the quiet connections that are always present. And in those connections, he found a gentle kind of belonging. He found that even a single grain of rice is part of the whole field. If you like this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Listen closely to the quiet moments. They often hold the deepest wisdom.